Hello, lovely student. Welcome to my lesson on string manipulation, lesson 6. And today we're going to focus on the insert procedure. So the insert is a procedure, so hence it's been called purely by its name. I'm passing an argument to the procedure, and this argument is called with 3 parameters. The first parameter is what I want to insert. So it could be a variable that is storing a value, or it could be a string literal. The second parameter is where I want to insert it into. So the original string that I'm using, that is the string I'm going to insert something into. The last parameter is the position at which I want to insert it. There's options. You can allow the user to enter the position. You can track the position of a space or the position of a comma, or you could just merely stipulate at which position you want to enter in a string. Remember, the string starts at index 1. If I want to enter in the first position, I will stipulate 1. If I want to enter in the last position, it will be length. So it's all depending on where you want to insert at which position. I have an example, and the string is sourdough bread tastes good. And I want to insert a string literal, and the word is hot, into, it's supposed to have been S string, but I want to insert it into S string, and I want to start at position 1. So it's going to insert at the beginning of the string. At position 1, it will insert the word hot. So also remember that insert adds characters or a substring to a given string at a certain position. So all it does is it changes the existing string by adding more characters or a substring. Let's go and have a look at a few examples on a Delphi program. Okay, so I've created a Delphi project and I've called it Insert. My GUI form has the following GUI components: a label, a T-edit, where I'm going to enter a full name of a student, a memo to do a display, and I've got 2 buttons that I have coding that I'm going to talk about now. So let's look at the first button. So in this program, all I'm doing is I'm entering a full name using a T-edit. So I've created a variable for the full name. On an input box, I'm entering a person's middle name that I want to insert. So the full name, all the user is going to enter, the first name followed by the surname. So what's missing is the person's middle name. And I want to insert the middle name. I may have accidentally forgotten the middle name when I was capturing data. So now I want to insert at that position, I want to insert the middle name. So in order to insert the middle name, I know between the first name and the surname, there's a space. So I created a variable called ipos of data type integer, and I'm finding the position of the space in the full name. When I find the position of the space, that space is going to show me the space between the first name and the surname. At which index is that space? I'm then using insert, and I'm inserting the middle name into the full name at the position of the space. Note that I've added a space in front of the middle name just before, because if I had to insert the middle name, it will insert it without a space. So you won't have a space between the first name and the middle name. Okay, so if you wanted to have a space, so you can insert it with the space. Remember, insert is called with 3 parameters. This is considered 1 parameter. The value that you want to insert is considered 1 parameter, even if I had to add a space. I'm inserting it into the full name, and I'm inserting it at the position of the space. And then I'm displaying the full name. Let's have a look at this particular one and see how it works. Okay, so let's enter a person's full name. I'm going to enter Martin Smith. And if I said insert, so I now got to enter the middle name, and let's call it Samuel. Okay, so it's going to enter Martin Samuel Smith. But note, if I didn't include that space there, it would have had Martin Samuel as one name. So it's very important to include the space. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the next example. So the next example was inserting a word. So what I want to do is I want to insert a word at the beginning of the sentence. Like the example that I showed you at the beginning of today's lesson, where you had sourdough bread tastes good, but I want to insert a word at the beginning of the sentence. So I'm getting a word from the T-edit. That's my original sentence. I'm entering a word that I want to insert using an input box. And then I'm using the insert procedure to insert. So I'm inserting what I want to insert. I want to insert S word plus a space. And I want to insert it into the original sentence that I'm going to extract from the T-edit. And I want to start inserting at position 1. And then all I'm doing is displaying the sentence after the word has been inserted. Let's have a look at how this program works. Okay, so let's enter a sentence, and I'm going to keep it as sourdough bread tastes good. Okay, insert a word, and let's put hot sourdough bread tastes good. Okay, so it inserted it at position 1, but remember I inserted a word plus a space. If I did not include the space, it would have been hot sourdough bread, all one word. Thank you, students, for listening. I hope you enjoyed my lesson today and you are enjoying the series on strings. Stay motivated, stay inspired, and practice all the activities that I have been doing. And follow me on my next video.